few key elements to Joe's Biscuits and Gravy. Number one, the biscuits. Grands, home-style butter tasting. Critical. Don't use fucking flaky biscuits. Next, Jimmy Dean's hot pork sausage. Gotta be the hot. Good flavor. Whole milk.
Whole milk? It's gotta be whole milk?
Gotta be whole milk.
Okay.
Got good fat in it.
Yeah.
Classico olive oil.
Oh, I have that.
Gotta have Classico.
Why does it gotta be Classico?
Because this has a higher flash point. It doesn't burn up as fast. Has a little bit more flavor.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think I might have that.
Your regular extra virgin olive oil is made for salads and on top of dipping bread in, stuff like that. Classico is meant for frying.
Oh.
Modern sausage is way too wimpy in the fat content. That's why you got to add a little bit of the olive oil in there, because there's just not enough fat in modern sausage anymore.
And you're using 2 pounds of that and just a splash of olive oil.
Yeah, well, good splash. You'll probably add more olive oil depending upon what the roux turns out like.
Okay.
We've already got a load of biscuits in the oven. Start getting this chopped up a little bit. The cauldron is a good piece of equipment because it's nice and big, keeps things warm after it's all cooked and heated up.
That's cast iron.
Yep, it's a cauldron, cast iron cauldron, courtesy of Maria.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Maria said she never had any use for a cauldron.
And yet, Jose never eats here.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I don't either.
Another critical part is flour. Good, whole, multi-purpose or all-purpose flour.
Multi-purpose flour, okay.
We got our sausage browned up. Doing pretty good here. Gonna pull it and let it drain. The first load of biscuits are done. So now we drain off the sausage.
That right there, now, yeah, that makes a lot. Yeah.
I always like to use a colander or some type of a screen strain so I can get all that good fat out of there.
Screen strain, okay. Don't know that I got that.
They're cheap. You can get the bigger versions of this one at Walmart for a few bucks.
Plug in Walmart.
Plug in Walmart. You got to. Fucking Walmart's awesome. I'm a Walmartian. I don't care. I'm proud of it. You know, when the next store comes around that sells shit cheaper than Walmart, I'll go there.
Possibly 12 inch cannon, just on the latest piece of the setup that we got.
Alright.
Get it all out of there.
Get all that good stuff out of there, draining off. So we can now make the roux.
Making the roux.
The most important part of the whole operation is the roux.
The roux.
Any good roux is a 1/4 cup of flour for every 2 cups of gravy. That's your marking point for making the roux.
You say that again? 1/4 cup of flour.
1/4 cup of flour for every 2 cups of gravy.
Oh.
Whether you're making cream gravy with the milk or making gravy off of the turkey drippings or a roast drippings or whatever else, it's a 1/4 cup of flour for every 2 cups of gravy. So
Okay.
that's what we're going to do here. Since we got a 1/2 gallon, that's 8 cups. We're going to use a cup of flour, and it's not super critical.
We don't get it either, unless that stuff's burning too fast.
So that's pretty close.
Cup.
There's a little bit left in the bag. It'll be a little thicker gravy.
Like thick gravy.
Like thick gravy. Next thing, got to have a good whisk to mix the fat and flour together. So we got our 3 elements for a gravy: fat, flour, and a liquid. If you're making a turkey gravy or making a roast gravy, you take your drippings out of the pan, you let it separate, pull the fat to one side, all your drippings to the other side, strain those off to get all the chunks of crap out of there you don't want, and then you can, if you don't have enough of the drippings that are minus the fat, then you can add a little bit of milk to that and make it a cream gravy or anything else you want to add to it. But next thing we're going to do, take our nice little fat drippings.
I know, we just try to spend time with family.
You know it's going to be plenty of it, so we'll throw all that in. It'll be most of this, if not all of it. Mix the flour and the fat up. And this is kind of important on how thin you get it. And if it just turns into a bread dough like that, that's too thick. That needs more fat.
Needs more fat.
Yep, so we add back more of that. Now you could use, instead of the olive oil, you could use butter.
Real butter.
Real butter.
That I have.
That's what a lot of the old school recipes call for, is real butter. Nothing wrong with real butter. I like olive oil. We'll add that in, get our roux thinned down. And I like the roux to be like thin peanut butter. So get that good thin peanut butter consistency. About like that. It kind of rolls down the cauldron a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, just a touch more.
A little bit thinner, huh?
That should be enough of that. Now
we heat her back up.
Yep. Now we got to get this back to boiling. Good hot roux. Because what we're doing with the fat and the flour is we're building gluten chains. The gluten chains are what make the gravy thick. So as the fat and the flour combines under the heat, those chains get longer and longer and longer. The roux will get kind of a foamy consistency to it. That way we know we've got all our gluten chains built. Add our liquid to it, start heating that up. The liquid and the gluten chains get a nice thick gravy. Alright, we're starting to get bubbling. Needs to, once it gets to this point, about 2 minutes.
2 minutes of boiling?
About 2 minutes. That gets us our good foamy consistency. If you add the milk or whatever liquids too early, you'll have a runny gravy. If you let it go too long, it'll start browning the roux, which isn't bad, but your gravy will be darker.
No.
Especially with a cream gravy, that's not always what you want. Keep it moving so it doesn't burn, scald, get nasty, but you can see how it's starting to get a little more foamy.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. Too many ways of people making biscuits and gravy. They just throw the flour in with the sausage and the fat together, and you get chunks of flour that get glued into the chunks of sausage, and they don't really become a part of the liquid and help with the thickening, and it's a pain in the ass. I think it tastes more floury. That's why I like doing the old-fashioned roux, where you can see that.
Where did you learn this from?
I learned this from a former resident in the Men's Halfway House in Grand Island, who was a master chef.
And an alcoholic.
And alcoholic and drug addict. I mean, he loved his pain pills. But he was one hell of a cook. Probably the best cook I've ever known. All right.
Okay.
We got a nice foamy roux, browned a little bit. Now we just add our whole milk, one shot. Dump it right in.
Going the whole thing.
Whole thing.
Whole thing.
This is a hell of a batch of biscuits and gravy.
A lot of hungry skydivers gonna eat this.
Get that all whipped up, get the roux mixed in with that. Then we got to have a little seasoning.
Okay, what are we using for seasoning?
Yeah, first thing I got to do is pull biscuits.
Okay.
All right, seasoning. Garlic salt.
Garlic salt.
About a tablespoon or so,
Okay.
maybe or so.
A little more. All right.
Louisiana Cajun seasoning.
Don't have any of that.
Buy some. Probably be the last Cajun type seasoning you'll ever buy, and you'll
Really?
use it more than anything.
No kidding. You
Yep.
get that at Walmart?
I used to get it at Skagway in Grand Island. It's hard to find. Usually not Walmart. You'll have to shop around and figure out where they've got that, because usually what they want to sell you is the Tony Chachere's. Not the same.
Not as good.
Louisiana.
Louisiana, okay.
So we got salt, we got the Louisiana in there. Then for one last little kick,
The one that I saw
Louisiana hot sauce.
conceptualized.
Now this is
Can
the
you
end of the bottle.
substitute that for something else, or
No.
it's got to be
Gotta be
Louisiana?
Louisiana. Tabasco sauce is too vinegary. This has got more of the pepper flavor without nothing but heat. This isn't just heat. That's what I like about that.
Okay.
Now this is actually kind of thinned down, so don't use this much of a regular. For a half gallon, it should be 5 dashes.
Okay. 5 dashes per half gallon.
but that
I'm
was
not
the end
probably
of the
making this big of a batch, but I would probably cut it in half. if I
Divide
was
it
doing
down. Just divide it down, you know. 2.5 dashes then for a half or a quart.
Right, for a quart
And
and
a 1 pound pack.
a half a cup of flour. Gotcha.
Yep. You see how it's starting to get thicker already? Keep whipping it around with the whip to make sure you get everything off the sides. So you don't end up with a big burnt wad. And you see how it's getting a little bit thicker all the time. What we want it to get back to is a full rolling boil for about 2 minutes again. And that will give us our as thick as it's going to get gravy.
Oh, okay.
Boil it anymore, it ain't going to get any thicker.
Right, it's just starting to boil now.
Yeah, just getting on the edge. See how the edge is just starting
Right.
to heat up enough.
I'm talking 2 minutes full boil.
2 minutes full boil. And you gotta really watch your temperature. I've got it up a little bit too high probably, but I'm stirring it a lot. You walk away from it,
To burn it.
you burn it. Then you get a big crust on the bottom of the pan, and you'll taste it in the gravy.
Oh,
So you gotta keep it off, forming up on the bottom of the pan. And once it forms a wad, you're fucked. You see how nice and thick that's getting?
yeah. That is nice. And we're boiling pretty good now.
Yep, it's coming. We got a good boil going and kind of tone it down a little bit. And get a good couple minutes of full boil going. Another good thing with a big cauldron like this, you got plenty of room for stirring it. Because once we get this done where the gravy is cooked and it's where we want it to be, then we throw the sausage back in, and that's going to fill that up even more.
That is a very nice cauldron.
That is a very nice cauldron. Thank
All
you,
right.
Maria.
All right, back goes the sausage.
Yep, sausage goes back in. Stir that in. It's still been doing the roll and boil thing here. That won't cool it off hardly at all. It goes right back to a boil. Uh-oh, we got entertainment. You better focus on that.
Yeah, he ain't ready.
He's trying.
Oh, there we go. We got a fuse. Boom! That was fairly loud.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Oh yeah!
Trying to blow stuff up.
Oh yeah!
Making a bang. How much did he use?
Use different powders.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, buddy!
All right,
Okay, so we're done.
we're done. That's sausage and gravy.
And what, you just kill the heat or?
Yep, kill the heat, put the lid on it, and it'll stay hot for better than an hour in this cauldron.
Alright, now Joe's got his biscuits with his gravy on it. He's putting a little salsa on there. I'm probably not going that route myself.
I would always go this route. Instead of putting any pepper on it, use salsa or your favorite hot sauce. That's always better.
Yeah,
We've got one of two concrete-filled beer cans.
best biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, filled beer cans.
Look at that consistency. Perfect,
Oh yeah, dude.
perfect. The longer this sets, it's going to thicken up just a little bit more. But
You talking to the biscuit?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the stuff right there. Get that
Right.
money
Critical.
Don't use fucking flaky biscuits.
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 Critical.
Don't use fucking flaky biscuits.